Did you expect to get the cast you got on Travers?
Yes. One of the things that I have learned in the years that I've been in the industry is you're only as good as the people you work with. But if you're working with good people, you can trust them. My casting director is the phenomenal Ronnie Yeskel, who's, if you look up her IMDb just out of curiosity, her list of projects she's been on is more than most movies people have seen. She is an absolute legend in the industry. So while I did not know who I was going to get for Tim Travers, I never had any doubt in my mind that we would get people who would bring serious value and talent to the project. And that's because I trusted Ronnie. Now, what people we got for it, that I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
And my only legitimate concern I had was because we were casting so late in the game. We had one person in particular who I think we closed the deal on him maybe 40 hours before she showed up on set. So my only concern wasn't whether or not we could get people, was whether or not we could get them in time. So we had an entire backup cast on Tim Travers, every one of which I tried to cast in small supporting roles just so that I would have an excuse to pay these people regardless, just to show my appreciation for them. The role of Royce, for example, who Danny Trejo plays wonderfully in the film, was a local actor who is so funny, even though that's actually a villain, that we cast him to be the drunk at the bar, and every single line this man gets, he gets a laugh out of. He's great.
He is great. I didn't connect that those were the same people.
Oh yeah, he was our backup to Royce if God forbid something had happened.
Yeah. I mean, was it Felicia we got 40 days, or was it Keith? 40
Keith David
hours?
was the 11th hour.
Yeah.
He shot on Tuesday. Ronnie made the offer on Friday. Like just the initial offer on Friday, and he shot the following Tuesday.
Yeah, that was super close, but he was great.
He was great. No, the experience with him that actually, I had two experiences with him that blew my mind.
Mm-hmm.
The first was the Monday before he films. He calls me that evening just because he wanted to talk about the character a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fairly late. We had already wrapped earlier, so I'm still in decompressing mode. And I had been watching a TV show when he called. And what I had been watching was the season finale of Rick and Morty that he was in. So I literally paused the TV, picked up the phone to hear the exact same voice suddenly come out of the phone that I'd been watching on the TV, which I found not just a little bit surreal.
It is quite surreal, or I'd imagine, at least, yeah.
And then when I'm taking him around set, he's this wonderfully calm, polite, soft-spoken old gentleman, wants to meet and shake hands with every person. And then when it's time for him to actually start acting, and he switches into acting mode with his voice, I swear to God, you were there. It shook the foundations of the building. I took a step back. It startled me so badly. And I briefly was thinking to myself, oh my God, I would cry if this man ever shouted at me. I would just break down and cry.
You're not the only one. But for those of you listening, Stimson's not exaggerating. His voice literally shook the walls. They were stage walls. But
these weren't the most reinforced walls in the world, but walls nonetheless.
Yes, it was. That is something I will never forget. But yeah, the